I just realised how mental it would sound if somebody asked me where I'm walking to and I said Belfast. What am I doing? Welcome to Ricky's Bold Twins Country Hour. Maybe sheep sitting standing stones down into the valley, yo. Looks like piss, but I'm sure it's gonna taste great. Right, let's go grave hunting. But yeah, I'm up for it, I'm up for it. I could actually do this, the Irish East Highland Way. I could do it, and it can become a thing. It'll be my wee baby. It's a McQuillan Castle. So behind me is the Children of Lear statue, and this is a starting point of the Irish East Highland Way. You have to come here and visit the statue. The Children of Lear's story speaks to me about metamorphosis, being turned into something that we are not, and having to live lives that are in limbo, in some sort of purgatory, because of forces in our earlier lives we had no choice over. We can end up living different forms in ways that are not fully us. So this journey, the Irish East Highland Way, will hopefully be a journey of transformation, and hopefully a journey of healing, to arrive in Belfast at the Salmon of Knowledge. So here's the beginning of the Irish East Highland Way. This is day one in Ballycastle. There's been a few delays because Northwest is on at the minute. So it's about 12:30, half one. It's half one. But yeah, I'm just relaxing into it and just let it be. So there's public toilets over here. I'm gonna use those, fill up my water bottle, maybe fill up my water bag a little bit, to get me up through Ballycastle Forest and then over into Breen Forest where there is some water as well. And yeah, and other than that, it's just like, let's go. Let's be having you. In some mythological land, I would like to walk 40 kilometers today, but I doubt that's going to happen. So, a few possible camp spots: Glenshesk Valley, that'll be a shortish walk. Then possibility at the side of Sleevenora, which I've camped on before, but it's not an ideal camp spot. But my ideal is actually to walk all the way through the Dungonal Reservoir and camp at Dungonal. But just play it by ear, see how far I get. My knees might tell me otherwise as well. I tweaked my knee last Friday out hiking. I left it for a few days before trying to do this, but even this morning with the weight of the rucksack, I could feel it. So I got my knee brace with me, but that might totally change this entire attempt at the Irish East Highland Way, which would suck because it's my first attempt. Right, I'm not sure you can make that out in the video, but you can see Scotland in behind the headland there. Argyll, the coast of the Gaels. You can see right the way up that coast faintly. Pretty well up to the Hebrides. So just behind where the Children of Lear statue is that little building there, and that's where the public toilets are. But also on this trail, I'm going to create side quests. so they're not strictly on trail, and you have to do a little bit of a detour to see interesting things. Things that I think are interesting and worth visiting. So for the Irish East Highland Way, first side quest is Bonamargee Friary. So that's where I'm heading to now. You basically walk along a little path past that building, along where the river is, and then cross over the wee bridge. And it's not too far from there on the other side. And I think we can go up this wee path here, I think. It's Ballycastle Beach. Yeah, I forgot actually that wee path takes us through the golf club. But I don't think there's any issues with that. And this time of year with the northwest on, it's also golfers everywhere. Like the north coast is just becoming golf capital, threatening to take over the golf courses all along the north coast. Good shot, good shot. Not quite. So be careful on the road. Both ways. And then watch your head, because the golf course goes on both sides of this. But look at that. How beautiful is that? The ruins of Bonamargee Friary. It was dutifully told there's an actual path further up. So one of the reasons I'm standing here in Bonamargee Friary is that it was established by Rory McQuillan in about 1495. So this Friary's been here for so long, and there's so much history connected with it as well. And I'll probably talk about them along this trail, but some of the battles that took place involving this Friary. But this land was so connected to the McQuillans for a long, long time. They dominated this area until they were ousted by the MacDonalds in the 1580s in the Gaelic clan wars. But there's a lot of little sites along this Irish East Highland Way that connected that, and I'll talk more about that over the next few days if I manage to do this. This gravestone behind me is quite interesting. It's actually for Julia McQuillan, who was a nun from the Friary. She asked to be buried here so that people would walk over her. Some act of humility. She also donated her coffin and said to be buried without a coffin, and to give the coffin to somebody who might be more in need of it. And yeah, so apparently her ghost haunts the Friary, and if you see her ghost, you may die shortly thereafter. But yeah, so it's amazing just having this piece of history here, and being a McQuillan, standing in a McQuillan Friary from the late 1400s. Amazing. And this is where Shorty Boy MacDonald is buried as well, and that's a whole other part of the history. So the MacDonalds oust the McQuillans, but what's really interesting, I'm actually reading a book at the minute called Somerled, the Hammer of the Norse, and he's essentially a Viking but also fighting against Vikings. Just this whole interplay of the Norse Gaels, the Gaels marrying into Viking lineage, and it's just so complex. But actually Somerled, and they were talking back in 1100s, his name is a Viking name, and Sorley is the Gaelic of Somerled, so he's got a Viking name too. So Sorley Boy MacDonald is a flipping Viking. But it's that whole time of Norse Gael clans, mercenary army families coming into Ireland, usually at the behest of some other family that have asked them to come in. Anywho, Less of that, I'm going to get to the toilet, fill up my water bottle. I've got a wee bap I made in the house before I set off, so I can get a quick munch on and then get hiking. Let's go. Cool graves. Right. Half a sandwich to power me up. So, found a wee shelter spot as well. There's a cool wind blowing in, obviously. But down on the main street there, you've got Spar there as well. Wee bar. I'm actually looking forward to detoxing over the next few days. So that's the Marine Court Hotel on the seafront, and if you just go past it, turn the corner, and then you're going up this hill here. Take you up to the diamond. So this is the diamond. So you'll know you're at the diamond because there's a church. There's a little monument in the centre. There's the co-op, which I use quite a lot. I want to promote independent businesses as much as I can on this trail. If you can support independent businesses. The great thing about Ballycastle is it basically is mostly independent businesses. Now, this might be interesting. I thought this is the road I'm going to go down, but I can actually see there is a wee trail just beside it, which is still open, and that's where I need to go. So beside the Diamond Bar, that's where we're going. Be a bit worried there for a second. That's all snag. Oh, smell of fast food. Yep. Can already see 3 buzzard soaring above the forest there. I'm looking for all the omens. I had that battle this morning. The part of me that wants to protect me and keep me safe and be comfortable versus the part of me that knows that there's goodness to be had in adventure and the unknown, taking a risk. So I need all the omens I can get. The entrance to Ballycastle Forest. So the first part of the Moyle Way takes you through to Glenariff, and instead of continuing on down the Waterfoot where the Ulster Way would have you go in the Moyle Way, you're cutting across the Dungannon Dam, because who's going to do the Ulster Way? Take it 5 years. This is a wee flat section before the uphills. I just realised how mental it would sound if somebody asked me where I'm walking to and I said Belfast. Oh, I can't believe I'm actually going to try and do this. Sure, what else would you be doing? Also, I was given another opportunity. I thought I had the week off and I'd let it slide by. And then because I tweaked my knee as well, it wasn't feeling good. But then I got my rota through for next week and I'm off Monday and Tuesday. And it just seemed like this gift, another opportunity, a possibility, so that I don't have to wait until July to try and do this. The fates aligned and give me those 2 days off, Monday and Tuesday, to give me this possibility. It was good actually walking to Bonnemargy there because I got to test my knee out a little bit to see how I feel about it. I'm feeling a wee bit fragile, but not massively. What am I doing? I did manage to shave a bit of weight off after doing my video. One of the things I did was didn't bring my DJI Neo controller, which weighed about 400 grams. I can just use my phone to control it. It limits the distance I can use it, but actually the distance that you can use it with the phone is as much distance as I need it. So it's like 50 meters or something, which is plenty. So that saved 400 grams, and then I also just ditched half my noodles and couscouses and just thought, you know what, I'm going to be in Carnlough a couple of days time, inshallah. That's again cut out about 400 grams plus. Didn't bring my wee nature hike booties, and I didn't bring those Columbia hot slippers, which weighed about 500 grams. So yeah, so I was much happier. It means that like my backpack was weighing in about 14 kilograms, but that is with my drone pouch in there at the minute. So as I say, you'll be following mostly waymarked trails, and even the more urban stretches should be marked as the Ulster Way as well. Oh yeah, it's better. Oh yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of it is about when you've just started a trail and you're straight in there and you're like, oh, I'll find my legs as we go along. Here's another lovely wee water source. Hardly tempted to replace the water I got from the tap of the toilets at Ballycastle. Tap water, more like crap water. Yup. So sweating. Welcome to Ricky's Bold Twin. My goodness, but upside, I haven't even got my pulls out. I managed to actually do all those inclines, and I barely stopped at all. I just kept a nice solid pace, and I imagine that's those 2 other days hiking over the Garn Plateau I think helped, which is pretty good considering the amount I've been smoking recently. It's like, it was my birthday, it was a bank holiday, in the bar. So, but yeah, quite pleased with that. I'm pretty much at the top of Ballycastle Forest. There's one slight incline here. I think that's it, and then downhill to the Drumnavody Road, or Drumnavody Road. And then there's a road section, and then that takes you through the Breen Oak Forest. Oh, wow. It's now 3:30, and I was going down from the Diamond to the beginning of Ballycastle Forest at 22:03, so that's been basically 15 minutes to get me up to the top part of Ballycastle Forest. Still have a bit to go to get out of Ballycastle Forest, but that's pretty much the ascent done. Knees feeling okay. I think I can handle up hills. I think it's just, I'll be more worried about it on that tufty, boggy terrain. That's when I might start crying. So luckily I saw that, and because I would have gone up there just because the last time I was up here I went up that way, but it's because I was going up to Knocklade, which is that lump over there. Anywho, this is saying this way. Oh, I can feel the cold air coming in again. Such a dramatic change. I stupidly forgot to start tracking my walk as soon as I started. I'm hoping to basically track all of these on an app and then have the GPX files for it, and then partly that'll give me information about like elevation gain and all that kind of stuff and the actual distance, and then also to be able to share the GPX files for people to download. So yes, well, luckily I didn't leave out too much. So this is coming out of the forest now. You're so high up, and it's cool looking down over the valley and the tops of the trees. I'm just loving the lush, vibrant colours of the trees, especially those contrasted against the darkness of the pines and then all these deciduous trees. Oh, lovely. The vibrancy of spring. So this is coming up to the exit of Ballycastle Forest, and then that'll be the beginning of the road section. I'm not going to bother putting on my high-vis rain cover. I've walked this road quite a few times and it is sparsely populated, so I don't think there's too many issues there. But if you feel cautious, and definitely bring something high-vis for that reason. So you're turning right when you get down onto the road, and when you do get out here, you get the views over sheepy fields. So now we're out of the forest, I can feel that cool breeze coming and up the valley off the sea. The tops like this are brilliant. You know, you can, even if you feel they're maybe too warm at times, but then they're just thin enough that you can get away with it. And they're really good at wicking. But it's just thick enough that, you know, to take the edge of a wee breeze like that. And it's got thumb loops on the sleeves too, and then the hood, so it's just like, means you just don't have to take your pack on and off all the time, just changing layers. It's gorgeous. Look at that. Welcome to the world, little one. So, road closed. What does that mean? So, do I risk walking down there and find I can't go any further? Or is it only closed to cars and a pedestrian to walk along there? Now, the other thing is, I think I've checked this road off on the map. And you go down there and along it. But it's going to be a busier road, and this road's great. Like, there's only been like 3 cars so far. I'm just walking in the middle of the road. It's so quiet. But I think our road down there is much busier. But on the upside, I think there's actually a standing stone that you pass along that way. And there is also another standing stone in Breen Forest too. But this was not originally part of the plan. Do I stick to the Drumnavoli Road? Answers in a postcard. Phone a friend. 50-50. Right, decision time. Right, I looked at the map and there's still a fair bit of the Drumnavoli Road left. Like a decent chunk. And it would suck to walk all the way down, a huge whack of it, and then have to make my way back. So I think I'm going to just play it safe and go down this road, and hopefully the road's not too busy. But again, on the upside, I might get to see this other standing stone that I've never seen before. All the wee lambs and the protective mothers have been eyeballing me. But yeah, this is lovely. And yeah, it's road walking, but like, that's a lovely road, and you're looking over that valley with the sheep, and I've even walked that road without sheep in the fields, and at least not wee lambs. And it's still, I think it's quite an enjoyable road to walk. Almost pitching out of a boreen down in the south of Ireland. It's cool. I've never been down this road before, and to explore new territory. Oh, cool wee farm buildings. Sort of feels like I'm walking through somebody's farm. That's my favourite smell. So good. Fresh country air. We get to the bottom of that road and there's a sign there that looks like that road's closed. So confusing. Hopefully all will become clear. Right, this is where I'm going. Definitely more cars on this road, but so far decent amount of lay-by and decent amount of visibility for being able to see cars coming and be able to get out of the way. Still lovely hearing the raven and the buzzard. I would actually say that just for the views of Knocknaid, this road is almost preferable, because in the Drumnavoli Road you're kind of like a corridor of hedges, and you can't really see over the hedges, whereas this is all clear and you're just looking at Knocknaid there. So this could be an alternative route if you fancy it. And if this standing stone is along here and easily accessible without being a stupid side quest, I would almost recommend it. It might become the official route for the non-official National Hiking Trail. Oh, sunlight. It's not a cool breeze, but the sun is beautiful. Lovely. So you can see Breen Forest there. The entrance is further over to the right, and you're walking through deciduous woodland. And I say there's ancient oak in there as well. As you go through that, you end up start doing these big steep switchbacks and take up to the tufty top there, where you see all those pines all just sticking straight up. And that's basically where we'll end up. I've decided the downside of this road is that you can see it all the way, and it just goes on, just so you know what's coming up. And so psychologically, like, even though the views are nicer, the other road, it was all undulating, and so you couldn't really see where it was going, and it kept it sort of interesting maybe. Whereas even though the scenery's lovely here, there's tons of sheep in the field, and I'm meant to be on the hunt for a standing stone, but just seeing this road just straight stretched out in front of you is different, let's just say. But hardly any cars on this road as well, so I'm just walking right down the middle because I'm cautious about my knee and I feel it a wee bit. All this tarmac pounding, but just the way the roads slope on either side of it, I'm so aware that could affect the knee. So I'm just trying to walk in the middle here, right down the middle of the road. Maybe sheep seeing standing stones. I understand this now, that that's why this road's really quiet. So I imagine this road will not be as quiet. Like, it's so straight, it's obviously designed for more thoroughfare than the other one. Yeah, so also, like, I didn't look on the map for where the standing stone is, and I believe it's kind of in this area in between that road I came down off. It's almost like a triangle of land in between Drumnavoli Road and then this Glenshesk Road. So I didn't see, I was looking in the field, just couldn't see it. I thought, like, yeah, it could just be a big, I doubt it's a big side quest, but if you are interested, be aware there's a standing stone in that area, but there's a standing stone in Breen Forest as well. So if you're well into your standing stones, you want to see the other one, then go do that route, or come down. This is a Drumnavoli Road, or come to this and then go back along. If that road is busy and this is a quieter road, it might be better to do that, depending on how far along there it is. But I'll figure that out and I'll put it on a video and a wee map or something. A wee donkey in the field. Right, we're at the entrance to the Breen Forest. Here we go. Just hope my knee doesn't play up. It's that thing, like, I'm aware that I was like almost looking for any excuse at all, and my knee kind of gave me an excuse to rest it at least, and then the weather was an excuse maybe. So I have to sort of balance that out. Like, am I looking for a reason just to get out of doing it, or is it just actually wise not to? Because, you know, if this knee starts swelling up the more I go along here, and the further away from, like, civilization and roads, it's like I'm kind of committed. So even if my knee does get all banjoed, I'm kind of forced to have to walk with a banjoed knee, if that's the case. So I don't know. Yeah, I've got my knee brace with me, and it's not a good brace, but I'll do something to splint me up. Well, at least this is like gravel trails and not tufty bog. So yeah, you will see a house along here. Don't be put off. The trail goes past it. You probably feel like you're walking into somebody's front yard. Don't worry. Alright. So just after you come through the second gate like that, you look to your left through the pines, and that knocked lead behind it is the Breen standing stone. Now, I'm not going to go do the whole over and touch it thing, because it's a wee bit rough terrain, and I don't want to chance my knee. But there it is. You can go over, touch it, connect with your Neolithic ancestors. So you're talking about 2,500 BC, give or take a few hundred years. Yeah, the rest of this trail is going like pretty much like this, gravel forestry tracks, and some steep sections. So I hope my legs are not just knackered. I hope they're just warmed up, ready for action. I think you can go through there, but I think the last time I went in there I took a wrong turn within that area, and then that took a wee bit of time off, so I'm sticking to the official Ulster way for this, which is, there's a signpost there, Moyd Way, Ulster Way, just along here. But feel free to investigate the maps, and I think there is a way through that other section, and it's probably a bit nicer, but darker, whereas here you got lots more light. I forgot one of the upsides of going in the other way is there's water sources in there, and I know there's Glenshesk River in the Glenshesk Valley, but that was steep hiking up through here to get to it, and I can't remember if there's any streams running through here. I don't think so. So if you're needing water, I would suggest going in that way, and just research the maps. But I think you can go through there and connect back up, or maybe you just have to go in, get your water and come back out again. Oh, so it's now 5:15, and it was what, 3:30 at the top of Ballycastle Forest, so it's taken about an hour and 45 to get into Breen. So the first part of the trail here is actually quite nice, nice and gentle, doesn't kick you too much, because we're heading up to the side of the tuft up there. Yeah, we're having to go, so I think it actually goes right off this way and then around that way. All good. Just so thankful for this lovely evening. So nice. We're coming past the edge of the oak wood, and of course just as I arrived the jay flew out, very oaky bird, the acorn planter. But yeah, I do believe if you do go through the other way, that little dirt track there is where you come out. But I do warn you that I think even if there are tracks marked in there, a lot of them are like that. So you can risk it if you want, but it could be time consuming if you get a bit muddled up in there. Choose wisely. That's a wee bit that you come out. I remember that now. So yeah, and then you'd be turning right to continue on this trail. So another thing that happened was I actually missed the train this morning. I was meant to get at 9:24, and I missed it by like 5 minutes. I could see it. I could just see it pulling up, and I knew I wasn't going to get there in time. And so part of me was like, "Oh, that's it, done. Not doing it anymore." And then I realised like there's another train in an hour's time, and those buses run. It's not like going up the Carnlough recently where there was only like 1 or 2 buses in the morning and 1 and 2 in the evening, and that was it. You know, these buses run regularly around the north coast. So, but I meant I was sitting in the train station for an hour, and in that hour, obviously, all those self-sabotaging thoughts are kicking in, going like, "Oh, maybe you shouldn't do it. Like it's all overcast. It looks like it's going to rain. Maybe your knee's not good enough for going." All of these things, and also just that part of me that just wanted the comfort of going back, climbing into bed under my nice cozy blankets. So yeah, but I managed to hang on in there and got on the train and got on the bus. Even though the bus was also there, it had because of the northwest, the train was delayed enough that it didn't meet the connection if the wee bus goes around the north coast. Luckily it was only in half an hour. It runs every half hour, not every hour, so we didn't have to wait too long, but it did delay me. Here's another J, 2J. So yeah, basically it's been a later start than I would have liked. And essentially, if you do get a train at like 8:30, 9:30, you could be starting walking 11 o'clock in the morning. The J. Yeah, I would just get more miles covered, whereas I was delayed a fair bit and ended up going to Ballycastle just to show you one of the side quests, all of that. So, and I think I will end up camping in Glenshesk, not pushing it too much today. It's a spot I've camped in before as well, and realistically it'll probably be about 6:30 by the time I'm there. I might just enjoy relaxing, and I think the main thing as well is not really to see this just as a challenge, but to really try and be present and just enjoy it and just actually embrace it and embrace the break away from the other things. Yeah, just me, nobody asking me anything, needing anything from me, and it's just as simple. Like, it might be difficult in a way, but it's like a sort of simple difficulty of going up a hill or putting your tent up or something. I don't know, putting your tent away wet if it gets wet. It's glorious now. Right, there is a junction, there's no marker. Pretty sure it's this way, but I'm just going to double check. But yeah, no marker at this junction. But it's about to start going into the steeper section. Yes, turn right at that junction. Sun. Getting up near the top now. It's cool. These inclines haven't really taken it out of me as much as we've anticipated, and I'm really glad that when I went out up in the Garm Plateau recently a couple of times, that I brought my backpack with me and had a decent amount of weight in it both times. I think it has really helped make this less sucky. I haven't even got my walking poles out. What? I don't know if this is the top, but if it is, like, that's actually been pretty breezy getting up here. And I can see the tufty top up to my right, so flip. If it is, that's been great, because if it is, it's just pretty flat walking and then down into the valley at the river. Such a glorious evening. Amazing. This, I think it actually is, there's a raven. I think that is the top path. I can't believe it. Amazing. My knees not giving me jib. Feet are a wee bit hot in soles, but not like hot spotty blistery. But we'll be looking forward to getting my shoes and socks off, even though I'm wearing my wee summer thinner socks. I'm just wearing my Ultra Olympus, so no waterproof, pretty breathable. Probably have another pair of shoes that are probably a bit more breathable, a bit more meshy, a bit more open meshy. But oh jeez, the view, amazing. Probably doesn't look really much in the video here, but there's Knocklade behind, and then all the other hills. I think that's Carnan Moor over the far distance. Other parts of the Antrim hills, and behind sort of Tor Head taking you down to Cushendall direction, Cushendun. Oh yeah, it's glorious. It's a lovely feeling whenever you're on these high tracks, looking down and everything. I tell you, I look like a monk from the medieval period. Hilarious. Yeah, so there are deer here, but there's not many deer here, and actually one of the upsides of, say, the Irish East Highland Way compared to some other trails is lack of ticks. Not that there are no ticks, but compared to other places in England and Scotland, like it's incomparable. Therefore, the people who are afraid of Lyme's disease and stuff, you know, there's less anxiety about those kind of things. So that's another, you know, plus side to, you know, choosing to do this over and above some of the other long distance trails. And also lack of people. If you want to do a trail that's not inundated, you want to feel like you're on your own, but more solitude. And I want this trail to be a trail for people to really like reflect on things and, you know, meditate, and to have it to be a healing journey. Oh, amazing. I can see I can see down into the valley, and the wee track that leads up on the other side takes you out of it. Wow, and it just looks so beautiful. Only downside of the wee valley is it's probably shadowy, probably in the shade, but I might have a wee look around, see if there's a spot in the sun. But potentially sunny morning tomorrow. Sunrise is in the east. Yeah, it might be nice. Yeah, I'll be walking this trail around there, and then there's a wee left crappy track takes you down to the valley. And yeah, on the first time I did the Moyle Way, I missed the little turn off to get down to the valley to camp in Glenshesk, which was the plan that time. I think this is my trail here, and no wonder you flip and miss it. It's just like literally just a wee wooden sign, a wee post. Anyway, I really don't even think that was there that time that I missed it. And it's just that faint outline there. So here goes. Down into the valley, yo. But I am like pretty busted. It's not like it was a breeze, like it's still good leg pounding. Good lung pounding. Yeah, who knows, we'll get down there. It's now 5 to 6. Yeah, I'll just get down into the wee valley and just see if it feels decent and if I like it, and then if so, we'll just set up camp down there, I think, and just get a really nice rest and just enjoy lying down and all that. Having a cup of tea or coffee and just enjoying being here and actually having at least started to make this happen. Ooh. I love the old sign actually for the Moyle Way, it's cool. Check that out. I like that better. We came up with this boring one. So yeah, so down the edge of this tree line, you do sort of make out a faint, which looks like a sheep trail more than anything. Probably is a sheep trail. I'd be fascinated to know the numbers of people that walk the Moyle Way. I'll be intrigued to see if I get a sense that it's been maintained in any way, shape or form. Because down the bottom of this last time was so overgrown. I think it was willow trees or something that grown up, and it was like a jungle. So far so good. And you start seeing that wee farm building down there, and that is when you start to see the trail. So up to this point it's been fine. Yeah, it's damp grass and it can be really, really wet, but even though it's been dry everywhere else today, like it is, my feet are a bit damp, definitely not wet like I've experienced recently, but I can just see all that willow is exactly the way it was the last time. But imagine to walk all this way and can't even get through. The weeds, trying not to fall on the barbed wire. The trail, it is no trail. Oh, squidge. Let's see if I can get down into the valley without getting too soaking. Oh, I don't think that's going to happen. There's a relatively recent looking footprint. Oh, yuck. Come on. Oh no. Sammy used the barbed wire for support. Across, leaning the post over here. But at least, you know, these shoes will mostly dry out overnight, and I've got waterproof socks for us that don't. Oh, I was so concentrating, didn't see all the wee lambs next door. Bring the prunes with me next time. But I can hear the river, I can see the bridge, so at least I can get hydrated. Oh, here should be. Look at that. Amazing. Crazy. I'm here. It's beautiful. Last time I was here it got really cloudy and claggy and rained on and off. It was like that all evening and all through into the next day. But this is gorgeous. Oh. She's stunning. Oh, this river's beautiful. I think I heard a cuckoo out here. This is cute. God, I might even camp right here. Where another wee burn connects up. So I think that is going to be my wee spot there under that tree. Don't normally camp under trees, but partly it's like flat enough and there's less sheep poo or poos of other varieties. But I want to get water first sorted and then look for the McCullum grave. So as the sun up there, I can feel already like it's starting to cool down in the valley, that cold sink. So I'm going to get another layer on already, and I need to really start thinking about just getting the tent up and getting everything ready and preparing for that cold to hit. So I reckon it could feel like close to 0 tonight. I've got my big quilt to test out, but I want to get ahead of the game here. Looks like piss, but I'm sure it's going to taste great. Peaty, north, flipping fresh wind. And my legs are bashed up like mad from the other days hiking. Oh yeah, love it when it goes together so quick and nice like that. Oh yeah, because I nearly went in the river, crossing over earlier on there. That's where I got that scratch from. Well, I certainly get a fresh appreciation for water when you're out hiking like this. Bringing your water filter, running out of water, being so hyper aware of like water sources, where the next source will be. I mean, just the sheer act of having a filter, it just gives you a real fresh appreciation for it. And actually that filter's taken out a lot of that colour. It's quite impressive. That's super handy having so much that river there, so we can cook to my heart's content, have plenty of water for teas and coffees. Oh, here we go. Water from the Glenshesk. Please don't poison me. Well, it tastes better than the water from the Ballycastle public toilets. Right, that's job 1 done. I sort of just forget to eat when I'm hiking. Sometimes it's hiker's bliss and I'm just like don't want to stop and like in the zone. See, that's what I was saying about that other tripod. But I'm glad I didn't bring it, because that's the other thing that was so heavy that I managed to shave weight off. Was that other tripod was, God, must have been about 400 grams. So bringing this wee lighter one is worth it, even if it falls over now and again. I'm also aware of water and midges, but I've got my midge head net handy, but so far no shining. Just looking back at all the wee mishaps at the beginning, the delays and missed trains, and it was just that overcast kind of didn't exactly fill you with inspiration, and then it's just turned into this whopper. Sun shining in my face. Thank you. The sound of the rivers, beautiful. The wind's picking up. I actually feel the cold in my hands actually, so it's like I've gone from sweating about half an hour ago, and now I'm like totally feel it. I've got my fingerless gloves with me, and I may well end up having a wee puffy trousers on. So I don't think it was wrong to bring the thicker sleeping bag and stronger tent. Right, let's go grave hunting. So we're just double checking the map. I think it is further along on this side of the river, and then you do have to cross that wee river that I fell into nearly. Oh yes. I was very dubious about that, and it's just literally a wee piece of rock, so quite, you wouldn't necessarily notice it, with a wee stone man carved on one side and then I think a cross on the other. But it's from 1583, and Charles McQuillan was killed in battle when the McQuillans and the O'Neills had allied together to try and oust the Bluins, the Scots, MacDonalds. But it was unsuccessful, and the MacDonalds defeated the McQuillans. And this is one of the burial sites. There's quite a few of the McQuillans died that during that Battle of Ora. That's where it sort of ended, but it started down in Bonamargy and then made its way sort of back from there, ended up in Ora. I can see it, just stumbled upon it. The grave of Charles McQuillan. Oh, somebody's put a... No way, somebody's actually put flowers. I've never seen that before. And painted a stone with a McQuillan crest on it. Wow. I don't know how I feel about this edition. Kind of like that somebody recognised the importance of the McQuillans. Maybe they're McQuillan themselves. And then part of me kind of wishes it was just left as it is. Kind of inconspicuous. Anyway, it's just incredible just to have this kind of history and have this connection. I've been fascinated now at least the past year with the Gaelic clan wars, and the McQuillans, the O'Neills, MacDonalds, but there's a lot of other families were involved, like the Macaulays and McFalls, all sorts of families, all these clans all involved, and a lot of them were of the ilk of mercenary army families, which is a sort of tradition handed down by the Norse Gaels, I believe. So it comes down through the Isles with the Norse Gaels, and then they start coming into Ireland in the power vacuum in the 1340s after the Black Death. There's a Gaelic revival, resurgence, and then a lot of the local clans basically bring in ally with these mercenary army, Norse Gael mercenary army families. Just knowing that the McQuillans were a part of that, and a massive part of it, and yeah, mind blowing. The Irish East Highland Way is, it's personally for me, it's like, it's important. That's why I've been brewing with it for so long, and the more of the history I've learned about the McQuillan connections to the landscape here, and it's been important to me, become more and more important to me. So it's not just a hiking trail, there's a lot more to it than that. And all that history, and even you don't need to be a McQuillan to be interested in that, but it is just a very interesting. You will see along this kind of area the graves and battle sites and things like that. So Charles, rest in peace. Just had another thought about that. The fact that I'd actually thought that the grave was in that totally overgrown bit, and had been just left to ruin, essentially, left to be forgotten. So yeah, it's not there, and it's there, and it now has a wee addition to it. So yeah, that's all right. I've made my peace with that now. Oh, I feel like cold in that wind. It's gonna get chilly tonight. I'm glad I brought my puffy trousers. It ain't the summer yet. Right, here's attempt the river cross 2. See, that looks really stony and proper. I think there's a lot more stones in general. Oh yeah. Oh, it looks like it's yup. That's the way you're meant to go. Right, I think time to get the tent set up. Got my wee grotto up. Sturdy, looking good. Oh, great wee tent. So I did actually pack this in its stuff sack, which I don't normally do because I don't like creating awkward shapes, but what I did was I kept it loose because I was able to squeeze it and mould it a bit more as you put other stuff in. So, but it just does work to contain it because it's just this. It's probably overkill, but I'd rather be warm than cold, and a lot of the cold is coming from the wind chill, but you're in a tent, it's a windbreak, so the foot box slides onto the end of the mat, so it's cinched up at the end, goes there, so we snap button to stop the zip parting, and then there's the pad straps. Right, that's that all set up. Yeah, I think it's time for noodles. Home is all ready. What a location, very very happy with. That's the trail I'll be walking, the path on the other side in the morning. And the sun is just about to go down behind the trees there. But glorious. I was thinking it actually when I was walking up through Breen, it was like I didn't actually double check to make sure the stove's actually in the cook's head. Just so nice doing all this stuff and it's not raining, windy. Bit of wind comes in now and again, but it's not constant. But I suppose actually having done it in all those other conditions, it's like you do appreciate it when you're properly, when it's not, you're like, oh, this is brilliant. Tea or coffee. I want coffee, but also no thing really. Like, it has messed my sleep up sometimes. It made me pee loads. Oh, jeepers. Hello, last time I camped here, I drank tea, and it was the first time I came on a camp and didn't drink alcohol. Yeah, so just drank tea that time, but I also didn't sleep very well. But yeah, I don't think I just generally sleep well in general in camping. I always hope that the sound of a wee river would like lull me off to sleep, or that exhaustion would just knacker me so much that I would sleep well. We'll see. Still glad to be out, and I'll still come out even though I don't sleep well. But obviously in a multi-day it's going to be a bit different. But I feel decent. I'm really glad actually that I did stop here, partly because it's where I felt was the most logical place, or just for the story and the McCullen grave, and I've camped here before, and it's a valley, and I know it's a decent camp spot, and right on the trail as well. So I kind of wanted that, and then I got this idea in my head about potentially doing this in 4 days and getting to Dungannon, and it's like it's just not what this is meant to be about for me. So I think that a warm-up day where you do like the less kilometres, but there's a lot of decent inclines on it, and then just to enjoy a camp in a valley, and then if you want to crank it out the next day, go for it. So the only other multi-day long distance trail that I've done was the Wicklow Way. It was 2 summers ago, I think, so that's my only real reference for this. But I do think there is something in, like, you just reset your brain a bit, and even knowing it's a multi-day probably affected my decision to want to not push it further. So you come at it differently, maybe knowing that, and sort of, I think you do have to relax into it more and not just get the march on. Like, it is a journey, and it's a multi-day journey. It's like you want to leave yourself a good energy and good feeling, and just this spot is great. This is great. So yeah, I can imagine actually sort of waking up tomorrow feeling decent and having morning coffee and setting off hiking with a feeling of excitement or gratitude, rather than quite often I normally feel as I've just done myself in, can't, and I'm just dying to get out. Right, I'll just try and I'll have coffee, but I won't do what I normally do and fill that entire mug, because I think there's like 3 cups worth in there. Be modest. That looks like about the right amount. Great tent. Forgot this. Yeah, it's great. Here's me. I was just having my coffee and a smoke, and I was just like, now I've got everything done, it's just that wee moment clicks in, you're just going like, geez, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. And it is beautiful. So thankful. Sun's gone down behind there, but it's not actually got super free. I'm just preempting it, so I've got my puffy trousers on, and all my layers. I don't want to lose any heat that I've got. I put my waterproof, so to let my feet dry out a wee bit. Dried them off. I put on a wee pair of liners and my waterproof socks, which means I can put my feet back into my shoes when I need to. So that's what I'll do. If I'm in the tent, I need to get out of the tent during the night, I'll pull off my tent socks, big fluffy socks. I'll take them off and then I'll just put on the waterproof socks and then into these shoes and then out. So yeah, but the food will be salty. I put in too much water in the boil it again and put in the noodles because I needed to put in 2 packs of noodles. But I'm okay with it. I'll happily eat 2 packs of noodles. I've earned it. And that'll keep me toasty. Also good to know there is no phone reception in the Glenshesk Valley at all. It's like a dead zone, which is great. I don't mind at all. But I would have thought about maybe doing like wee updates on YouTube, just like yeah, wee summary of like first day, second day kind of thing. And I've thought about having an Instagram page, but I also don't. One, it's just social media is bad for my noggin, and I also don't want to promote this so much that it becomes a problem as well. Like I want good people to come and do this, and I don't want people just to do it for competitiveness or, you know, some taking things off or whatever. I genuinely believe in this idea that this is like a transformative thing, like journeys can be, and these trails, long distance trails can be. And that's why, I like this journey from the Children of Lear to the Summit of Knowledge. So that's what I want this to be. I want this to be like a pilgrimage, a healing journey, a journey of transformation, a time to reflect. So yeah, and to bathe in the beauty. Like I've been here when it's all wet and stinky and it's not, you don't appreciate it. I'm just so thankful for this. There's a few midges coming out, but nothing like I would have anticipated. Like I have a midge net right there, just in case. But yeah, and I'm right beside a river, so it's like, wonder if the lambs are going to baa all night. Whether I'll keep me awake, but I'm not going to complain. I will happily, even if I don't get much sleep, and I'm kept awake by baaing lambs or by the river or whatever, or my thoughts. It's like, I don't care. I'm here and this is wonderful and magic, and I'm so glad I'm here. And I just really have that feeling of like, I think I've had some awarenesses recently that have helped, and I feel like I'm not just doing this to prove something to myself, to give myself the justification that I'm always striving for. It's like, don't feel justified. But I genuinely I feel like relaxed about this now. I'm like settled into it, and I can anticipate actually completing it. Whenever Monique was starting to play up earlier on there, it did put a wee bit of the dread in me, and I was like, but that's some hard ascents going up through there, and I've done them without even walking poles, like. And we'll see how my knees handle the sort of boggy terrain that will come tomorrow. But yeah, I'm up for it. Like, I'm up for it. I could actually do this, the Irish East Highland Way. I could do it, and it can become a thing. It'll be my wee baby. I feel like so many things in my life are converging for this. Like, this makes sense to me in so many ways. Something I've been looking at for what feels like 15 years. Scouring maps and all the things that have happened in between. I feel like they're bringing me here to do this, to create something that other people can enjoy. Yeah. We'll see. I think I struggle with just not believing in myself, like, so I'll end up self-limiting, so I don't really do the things that I could do because I doubt myself so much. And part of me still doubts that I'll actually turn up in Belfast on Tuesday after having finished this. Who knows? Well, either way, I'm glad I am here and I'm feeling good. And I've got noodles to eat. Yay! So So yeah, just checking on my tracking thing. So it's saying about 8 miles, but missed out basically about 2 miles worth of walking, 1.5. So it's my estimate over before I came out. I was saying it would be about 15k day to get to here. To get to Dungonal would be 40k, so about 24 miles to get to Dungonal. I'm glad I didn't do that. I'm sure people will willingly do that and they'll knock that out and they'll be able to do this, and not in 5 days, they'll be able to do it in 4 days. Part of me liked the idea of doing it in 4 days so that I'd have a day before going back to work. But but yeah, I'd rather just enjoy this and relax and like really just soak it up and let it be what it is, and not just try and crank out miles and try and speed it up. Yeah, so yeah, about 15k to here, 10 miles short of that, and then tomorrow I think is about 25k. Like I think most of the days are 25k. This is a shorter day, so it is like 15k, but I like that. I like that it's like a warm-up day, and this is just a great camp spot. So other things to bear in mind is absolutely leave no trace. A lot of this land is only available to hikers because of landowners granting access, but it's only provisional access, so it's like they could easily just shut it off if people abuse it. So, and no dogs as well, because there's sheep and lambs and cows, and so yeah, something to bear in mind anyway, just the little details. But yeah, absolutely leave no trace. Respect this place, respect this land. Be grateful for it and thankful for it. And if you see rubbish, pick it up. Although at a 5-day hike, it's difficult to pick things up because you end up with a whole pile of stuff. But I'm going to be resupplying in Carnlough. I'll definitely be going to Carnlough. It's on the route, so I could pick up litter tomorrow a bit and then leave that in Carnlough. So yeah, leave it better than you got it, than you found it. (10:09). Still loads of light in the sky, and probably will be for another hour, I imagine. But a lovely summery kind of evening sky. So I can't double check the weather forecast now because of no signal, but going by the sky, it looks like it could be a decent morning tomorrow. Yeah. But these days I've been going, I feel the tiredness kicking in, but these days I've been going to bed at like 9:30 sometimes, 10 o'clock, 10:30. So I'm happy to go to bed shortly. May not sleep straight away, but like that is typically when I'm going to bed now, which is crazy compared to like not that many years ago. It was almost illegal for me to go to bed before 1 in the morning or something. And I'm glad of that. I'm glad that's changed. A lot to be thankful for, which I lost track of recently. So yeah, still a lot of good things in my life that I am thankful for. But I'm going to sit here for a wee bit and just soak this up before getting the yawns on and climbing into the sack. So just saw the first star. North Star, probably. So that's I think that was a wee sign. It's time to get into the pit, into bed, into the sack. Opened up a wee hand warmer. Not as freezing, actually, it's just literally to warm my toes up, because whenever you've had wet feet, you have to stay colder longer. So I've got a wee pocket hand warmer just to add a wee bit of heat for them, so that I'm as comfortable as possible so I can get to sleep. It was nice staying up that wee bit longer as well, because then I was able to get a few pees out of me. So hopefully that'll minimise the chances of peeing. Maybe that water running nearby will make me want to pee all night. But yeah, I guess it's time to end it today. Let it be what it was, which is amazing. I think sometimes I've felt, when I feel the tiredness kicking in and the day's ending, it's like a sadness that comes. But it was just tiredness, and letting today be what it is, and let tomorrow bring another adventure. Yeah, right, let's get in here. Time to get in there. So I'm calling this the end of day one on the Irish East Highland Way. Walk from the Children of Lear and Ballycastle to the Glenshesk Valley and the graves of Charles McQuillan from 1583. I'm knackered. It's very loud. The river, the baying lambs, there's birds still singing, but I don't care. I'll be happy to lie down and rest my weary body. Ready for day two on the Irish East Highland Way. Also, bring a poop trowel, use it properly, and take your loo paper out with you and dump it in the nearest public bin. Don't leave it.